Back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And we are back to betting on the fights with Fake Money, episode 24. This week we're going to be placing our bets on UFC 223 Ferguson versus KHABIB, and we're going to be going over the results of UFC London, FERGUSON versus Alexander Volkov. As you can see, we only made one bet last week. We put a big bet on Alexander Volkov. He was the underdog coming into the fight. Thought we saw something we liked, and it paid off, man. You know what I'm saying? $437 on the underdog, which means we won some money. But first, let's go over the rest of the card real fast. Leon Edwards ended up beating Peter Sabata by TKO with 1 second left on the clock. He was the favorite in that fight. Tom Duquesnoy defeated Terrion Ware, one of the bigger favorites on the card, but it was a somewhat controversial decision. A lot of people thought Terrion Ware won that fight. We predicted Tom Duquesnoy to win, and he did, although it was somewhat controversial. Jimmy Manuwa versus Jan Blachowicz. That was a fight that a lot of people expected Jimmy Manuwa to win. He came in as the favorite, but Jan Blachowicz won the fight, and now we're looking at a potential rubber match somewhere near in the future. Jan Blachowicz got the unanimous decision victory over Jimmy Manuwa in the co-main event. And then, of course, in the main event, we had Alexander Volkov versus Fabricio Werdum. Alexander Volkov got the finish in the 4th round via TKO, and we bet $437 on that one fight. We started off with $737.03 to bet with when we put $437 on Volkov, which means if we would have lost this bet, we would have been down to only $300. Now, if you're new here, we started off with $500 in the very beginning of episode 1. We've never went negative. We've been going up, down, and now with this bet, I believe we'll be at a high point of the Fake Money Bankroll series. So we bet $437 and we won $1,158.13. So if you take off how much we placed the $400, we profited somewhere around a little over $700. So now you add this $1,158 to the $300 we still had left over, and now we're up to $1,400.58. That is an all-time high with that bet on Alexander Volkov. So we've got $1,400, almost $1,500 to bet with for UFC 223, which is good because a lot of the people I predicted to win are actually underdogs. So let's check it out. Boom, we had $1,458 to bet with, and you can see the bets we will be placing at UFC 223 KHABIB versus Ferguson. We've got the main card, the UFC 223 main card, opening up with Paul Felder versus Ally Aquinta. In that fight, Paul Felder is, it's almost a pick'em, but Paul Felder's a small underdog. Paul Felder has fought 6 times in the last 2 years, as to where Ally Aquinta's only fought once in the last 2 years. Now, Paul Felder's coming off of a win over Charles Oliveira. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, 3-fight KO spree. Paul Felder has also been engulfing himself in MMA, man. When he's not getting ready for a fight or fighting, he's commentating on fights, studying fighters, preparing for the UFC shows. Meanwhile, Ally Aquinta's been doing real estate, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So I just feel like Paul Felder has been engulfing himself in MMA. He's been being more active, and so he should come in here and get the win. So I'm going to put $150 there. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad. I might bump it up 200, but Ally Aquinta is still a pretty serious contender as far as, man, you know what, guys, we're going to do this since we're doing this together. I'm going to bump that up to $200 for the reasons I just said, man. He's been engulfing himself in MMA. Sorry about that. And while Ally Aquinta's been doing real estate and he hasn't been as active, Ally Aquinta has a win over Diego Sanchez in the last his last fight. Before that, it was Jorge Masvidal back in like 2015, I believe. So yeah, I'm picking Paul Felder to win. I'm gonna bet $200 there. Moving on to the Michael Chiesa Anthony Pettis fight. In that fight, Anthony Pettis is the favorite, which was surprising to me. Michael Chiesa is not only the higher ranked lightweight, but he's been on he's 3-1 in his last 4 fights, as to where Anthony Pettis is 2-2. Now, Anthony Pettis lost to Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway, the current featherweight champion, but his wins are over Jim Miller, and he's got one other win in his last 4 fights. But Either way, Michael Chiesa's only loss was to Kevin Lee, where he was submitted, and I feel like Michael Chiesa should have the grappling advantage in this fight. I feel like if this fight goes to decision, Michael Chiesa will probably win the decision because he'll probably be the one to score the takedowns in the fight if it goes there. So unless Anthony Pettis knocks out Michael Chiesa, I kind of see Michael Chiesa winning this fight. So with that being said, I got 200 there on Michael Chiesa. Now let's go to Renato Moicano versus Calvin Kattar. This was another surprising one to me. I thought Renato Moicano was going to be the favorite coming into this fight. He's got a win over a top 5 ranked Jeremy Stephens. He's got almost a win over a guy that's about to fight for the title, Brian Ortega. He was beating Brian Ortega before being submitted in the 3rd round. So Renato Moicano could arguably, if he would have beat Brian Ortega, he could be the guy fighting for the title right now. He's got almost a win over 2 of the guys in the top 5. He did beat Jeremy Stephens and he almost beat Brian Ortega, and he's going to be fighting Calvin Kattar, who's got 2 fights in the UFC, wins over Andre Fili and Shane Burgos, but neither of those fighters, I believe, are on the level of a Jeremy Stephens or a Brian Ortega, who Renato Moicano has not only been in there with, but beat and almost beat Brian Ortega. So I thought Renato Moicano would have low-key been the favorite going in, but he's an underdog, and he's actually a plus 145 underdog. He's the biggest underdog we bet on. So man, actually, man, I'm going up to 250. We just won this money, man. We're at a high point, so I want to fuck it. What are we, risk it for the biscuit? We got to get rich in this fake money stuff, man. So just give me a second, and I'll correct that. Boom, boom. So we were at 200, we're going to 250, move that back over. So now we got to correct the math as well. So we're going to put 250 on Renato Moicano because he could be fighting for the title. He's got wins over guys in the top 5 right now, and he's the biggest underdog on the card. So now we're going to go to Rose Namajunas versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This is aside from the Tony Ferguson bet where we actually predicted him to lose, but he's a live underdog in my opinion, Tony Ferguson, because he's the champion win streak. We just saw the miracle submission by Paul Craig, where he got the last second triangle choke. Tony Ferguson's always going to have that in his kit. He's going to be able to maybe, attack from the bottom with submissions and other stuff. So as much as everyone's picking Khabib Nurmagomedov to win, including me, I feel like Tony Ferguson's got a shot. So for him to be a 2-to-1 underdog, I'm like, hey, I'll just put a little bit there, man. If Tony Ferguson does win, you know what I'm saying? Double up. But hey, it is what it is. I did predict Khabib to win that fight. So, but other than that, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas, I picked Joanna to win, but I mean, I gotta admit, there's a lot of people that believe Rose Namajunas has the kryptonite for Joanna because she trains with Valentina Shevchenko and stuff like that, and it very well could be the case. But Joanna Jędrzejczyk was the reigning champion, and I don't think she got exposed. A lot of people compare Joanna Jędrzejczyk to the Ronda Rousey losses, but I don't think that's the case with Joanna. Joanna has wins over the top strawweights in the world, the Jessica Andrades, all of these girls that are in the number 1, number 2, number 3 contender spots, aside from Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jędrzejczyk is beat. She's almost cleared out the division, and so it could be a case of Rose Namajunas is just that bad matchup for Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but it is what it is. I'm going to put $100 on the former Joanna champion, Ice Princess, to come back and get her title back. I got hashtag and new. That's my theme of this UFC. I believe Khabib and Joanna are going to become champions, but we'll see what happens, man. These are the bets. I've got to correct the math. We just added an extra $100, so we got to come over here and make that minus 800. Make that an 8. I'm sorry, that was a 7. Glasses. All right. And the 13 cents I added onto the Tony Ferguson fight because that's just, blah, blah, blah. Who really cares about that? So I want to make it nice and pretty. If we do lose that fight, we're going to lose that ugly 13 cents. So since we subtracted an extra 100, we'll be left with $600. If we lost every single bet, we would still have $600 to bet with for the next set of fights. So with that being said, these are the bets. We're betting $800 in total. We had a big win. We're at an all-time high with that $1,400. Now we're going to put $800 out again. And if we lose, we'll still have $600 to bet with. So with that being said, this is episode 24 of Full Time's Fake Money Bankroll. Let the Full Time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da! It's the motherfucking DOG.